So, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racey, and I'm going to be giving the message for you today. These are general messages, so take them as they resonate and leave them if they don't. If they don't force them to fit. There are plenty of other wonderful readers on YouTube that just might resonate more with you at this time. For those of you who are new and not familiar with me or the channel, I do not sugarcoat my messages, and I have no filter. So, if you have, if that's not your thing or you have kids around and you just don't appreciate, that kind of message, then I respect that always, and always giving you the opportunity to sign off now. All right. With that said, this reading is for Capricorn for June, Capricorn suns, and those who have strong Capricorn placements in their chart. All right, strong Capricorn placements in your chart. Spirit, please. What is going on with Capricorn and Capricornian energies for June? I'm getting pinged words like illusion and like dictating choices. All right, Spirit, what's going on? Capricorn, Capricornian energy. What else? What's going on? Something was up. All right, clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Please, clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Clarify the Nine of Cups. Clarify the Sun. And clarify the Tower. I haven't had the Tower card fall in a hot minute. Clarify it further, please. What is the Two of Wands? What's the threshold? What's the Tower at the threshold? Alright, we got the Four of Wands on the bottom. So the underlying energy, what Spirit has working in the background, right? What the bottom line is the Four of Wands. It's the stable joy. It's divine counterpart energy. The bottom of the card, you see it, it's the Lord of perfected work. So Capricorn, this energy, this dictating of choices and the illusion, right, is getting you to a point where this is no longer deniable in your reality. Okay, that's no longer deniable in your reality. The Six of Swords is on top of the deck. With that being on the conscious mind, right, the top of the deck, the Six of Swords is about knowing mentally you need to move forward. You've been mentally stuck somewhere for too long, okay? mentally stuck somewhere for too long, and it's been keeping you from this divine, authentic pathway of yours, right? It's been keeping you from it, whatever you've been stuck in. And so you mentally, you know that something has to give in your belief system in order to create better, right? Something needs to shift. Now, we have the Wheel of Fortune clarified by the King of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune, the change of fate, right? The turn of fate. This is the King of Cups facing the snake, right? Facing the demon in the room, right? Facing the shadow, facing the healing head on. Like, I'm going to tackle this. I'm being really drawn to the bird. So they're getting, and the swords, right? The daggers on the card here, it's all air energy. It's like they're getting the downloads, the divine downloads to protect them and identify the threat, right? It's like identifying the threat. Identifying the threat. Because we have this Nine of Cups with the Seven of Coin. The Seven of Coins have been floating around in a couple readings, mostly on the bottom of the deck. But the Nine of Cups with the Seven of Pentacles. It's a wish, right? This is a wish. It's typically granted, but with the Seven of Pentacles underneath clarifying it, it's a success that's unfulfilled. So there's material happiness, emotional happiness that's not being granted. And then we have the Sun with the Ace of Swords, okay? So there's your light. There's the authenticity. There's the fire. There's the truth, okay? So that's definitely there. The truth sets you free, okay? The truth, Capricorn, sets you free. Whatever the wish is, it hasn't come to fruition yet. You're identifying maybe even the enemy in your own mind, right? Your own thought processes. You're identifying it. Because the wish hasn't come to fruition yet. It's been hard to grasp or hold on to. But it's there, and there's a mirroring and a healing going on with the truth. And the truth, I think when the truth comes out, that's when we get this crazy tower moment. Okay, whatever that truth is, the authentic truth, when that rings a bell, this Sun with the Ace of Swords. The tower comes in and it rings a bell. We've got the Two of Wands with the Six of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Princess of Pentacles, clarifying it. The Two of Wands is a threshold, and the Six of Cups is a soulmate, right? Really long time, past life connection, someone that resonates to you. And you seem to be drawn to them for a reason. You can't explain it. It's always because there's some past life, something that hasn't closed yet, right? There's something that hasn't cyclically closed. We don't know what that is. But the tower is being at this threshold with this divine soulmate. Doesn't have to be romantic, but divine soulmate, right? Someone who is absolutely meant to be in your life path and lessons. We get the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Princess of Pentacles. With the Princess and the Knight, I'm definitely feeling a sense of young or immature. Spirit's correcting me. It's a lack of divine experience. You know, it's not a matter of lack of experience, being immature or ignorant. It's a matter of not being able to look at all of the experiences that they've had with a divine eye for why it's all happened a certain way. The Knight of Wands is someone who's reckless. All right, the Knight of Wands is someone who's reckless and doesn't think about the big goal, right? The big soul goal with his current actions, right? Okay. The Princess of Pentacles, I feel like this energy is young and innocent, but also kind of almost wise beyond her years. Like, she's young in heart and soul, and she knows her worth. She knows her worth, okay? She knows what she's capable of. And there's this Three of Swords between them. And so it's, you know, this threshold of past life relationship and these two characters with the Three of Swords in between. It's like your heart knows. Your heart is mature and it knows what it wants, but the attitude is actually reckless, the demonstration of action. If we're dealing like facets of an individual, what you might be feeling and dealing with. The Tower might be you're on the threshold of a divine relationship or a divine connection, and your heart, even though it's young and it hasn't experienced everything, is wise beyond its years. It's mature, like it is a mature heart. It is a heart that knows its potential, right? It knows of its potential, knows what it's going for, but the actions are reckless. But the actions are coming out immature, and it's heartbreaking, right? So the feeling is just young and maybe even a little shy about being its best, and so it's making mistakes, like careless mistakes. And that's the Tower, making careless, possibly immature mistakes. It's just because you or someone just hasn't looked at it from the angle of the actual truth. And you know, it's not like it might not be your fault that you don't know the truth. Maybe you're depending on someone to tell you the truth, you know, and end up finding a different kind of truth. I feel like fate's definitely changing and the demons are being identified. I think that there is an awareness that a wish needs to, or really wants to come into fruition and manifest. There's something that you really want to manifest that hasn't manifested yet. And the authenticity of everything that you've been through to create who you are, where you are, and who you know, and who your connections are, the truth in all of it. Look at it from a perspective that foundationally shows patterns, that you can consciously choose different choices in advance in order to not repeat them, trusting it will be okay if you don't repeat the pattern. It's fine. Trust that maybe the pattern won't repeat if it really is like feeling like a new circumstance. Don't get caught in past patterns that don't, you know, exist in your present. Oh, it's weird. I've never looked at this card, but the way this figure is drawn, I never noticed the person. His little falling out of the tower. It almost looks like he's doing a handstand. His knees bent, kind of like the Fool. And it's just like the fool got knocked off his tower, you know. And if you think about the fool being the journey, right? It's like the sun and the authentic path is the journey, and you're at this threshold, and there's this immaturity there that would be heartbreaking. And I feel like that's the tower. I feel like maybe a part of the soul doesn't want the heartbreak, and so it's going through this process of understanding what the demon in the room is and why it's not manifesting the rewards that you want, the results that you want. And then it's just a matter of action and choice. Like, are you going to do it or not? Because the tower, honestly, is the divine loving you unconditionally and bringing in something that you can't deny happening, right? It's divine intervention. You know, the 16 is a 7. 7 is divine miracle and divine intervention. So the tower isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could be a completely eye-opening experience. And sometimes you see the tower with the big eye on top. I know one of my decks has it. I think it's my vice versa tarot. But it helps you see, right? The tower brings you back to ground level. You know, if you're on some egoic control, high horse my way, upset thing, the universe is going to ground you. It is going to take you off whatever cloud you're in and be like, you need to ground and get out of your head. You know, you need to come back to reality, and it's intervening on your behalf, right? To snap you in to reality. There's something really immature. There's something really immature about this princess and knight of wands and pentacles. It's like reminiscent of like young love, like reminiscent of like high school love, but it's not grown. You know what I mean? It's not grown. I really do kind of feel like this threshold with this counterpart, this divine connection, filling each other's cups, pouring into each other's cups, letting the cups runneth over, rippling more joy. I feel like this is separate from this, but it's all a part of the tower, right? It's all a part of the tower. Coming to the realization and the truth about why you had to go through certain things. Certain things are healing. Gotta face the demon. Gotta face your snakes. You gotta change your fate. You gotta let the wheel of fate turn. You can't stay where you are. You have a wish that is not filled. Capricorn, I hope this makes sense to you. I hope this makes sense to you as the month goes on. Some kind of truth is coming out. Some kind of epiphany, aha, okay, moment. And then it's like a semi-hell breaks loose. But it's going to be an eye-opening experience. It's going to be an eye-opening experience. So until next time, Divine Rebel Racey signing off. Remember always, love each other, and most importantly, love yourself. Bye, everybody.